Dharma friends, United States, Canada, Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, Sri Lanka, India, Australia, parts of Europe, parts of South America, parts of Africa. Dharma friends, Sadhu Anumodāmi. We're starting a little late. I had some visitors that came by. They're visiting from out of state and they wanted to see how things were. Had some questions I had to answer just when I was about to do a live stream, but pretty good. All right, so I'm going to move a little bit quickly. I'm going to do a quick chanting, and then I'm going to do just one blessing, which is the Maṅgala Sutta blessing, and hopefully I can run into the Dhamma talk while doing meditation. Yoso bhagava arahang sama sambuddho sabbato dadamo sum sa bhagavato sāvaka saṅghō dhammayang bhagavantang satamang sasaṅghang ime sakarehi atarahang aropitehi abhibhusayama Satu no bande bhagava sucira pariniputopi Patsima sanata nugamba manasa Ime sakare tugata panakara pute badikan hatu Amha kang tikaratang hitaya sukaya Arahang sama sambuddho bhagava Buddhang bhagavantang abhivademi Sawakato bhagavata dhammo dhammang namassami Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅghō saṅghang namami Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi Dhammang saranang gacchāmi Saṅghang saranang gacchāmi Tutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi Tutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchāmi Tutiyampi Saṅghang saranang gacchāmi Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchāmi Tatiyampi Saṅghang saranang gacchāmi Ahu deva manusa jamang karani ajintayung angkang kamana sotanang pruhi mangkara mutamang asevana japaranang patitanang jasevana bujaja bujaniyanang etam mangkara mutamang mati rupa taiso waso jabu beja kata punyata atasama pantiti ca etam mangkara mutamang ahu sancaca si panca vinayo ca susikito Supasita jaya waca etam mangkara mutamang Mata pitu upadanang bodhata rasa sangkaho Araku raja kamanta etam mangkara mutamang Tananja dhammacariya yatakananja sangkaho Anavacani kamani etam mangkara mutamang Arari virari papapat sapanaja sanyamo Apamata jatamesu etam mangkara mutamang Karavo janivato jasantu dijekatan yuta Karena dhamma savanang etam mangkara mutamang Kanti jakso wajak satak samanana jatasanang Karena dhamma sakasa etam mangkara mutamang Babo ja brahmacariya ja ariya sajana tasanang Nibbana sajikiriya ja etam mangkara mutamang Utasa loka thami hiji jang yasana kampati Asukang vira sangkemang etam mangkara mutamang Etati sani katawana sapatam aparasita sapata sauti kasanti tante sang mangkara mutamanti Tuka patacani tuka paya patacani paya soka patacani soka huntu sape piparino Etawata ca amhihi sampatam punya sampatang sape te venuwatantu sapa sampati sitiya tanang tanantu sataya silang langkantu sapata pavana perata hontu kacantu devata kata sape puta parapata pacekananca yang parang arahantanta cesana rangkampatami sapatso pavantu sapa mangkarak nakantu sapa devata sapa puta pavena sapa tamanu pavena sapa sangkanu pavena satasuti pavantu te Ya Devata Santi Vihara Vasini Tupekare Potekare Tahing Tahing Tamatane Napavandu Pusita Sotinkaronti Tavihara Mandare Tera Chamasana Vakata Pikavo Saramikatana Pati Upasakam Kamacha Desane Kamacha Isala Sapana Puta Sukita Bhavantute Sarapusa Yepicha Antasa Sapapa Sansita Sata Atavo Papitika Niyani Kantama Varang Patichate Sapepituka Sakarontu Sankayang Tatu Jayang Sapang Tamo Tamatara Sabukara Sangkuhutu Samakawa Matayata Hitayata Amhirakatu Satamo Sapipiktamacharino Uting Sapana Yamatame Ariapavitikte Agasatachapumata Tevanama Hitekam Punyantang Anumutantu Jirang Nakantu Kuta Satsanang Ukasa tawarata yena katang sa pang paratang gamatame pante wantami pante jetiyang sa pang sapatata ne supatititang sa nikanta tomaiha poteng putlarupang sakaratang ahang matami tatiyo ahang matami sapaso jetang ratanatayang ahang matami sapata buta busama te sawanto tamma busama panyo sangha busama pokabaho Uttantamang sangkang sivitam niparang sarang sasami. Parisuto ahang bante parisuto timang. Uto tammo sangko taretu. Sape sata sata huntu avera saka simino. Katang punyang parang may hang sape paki. Pawan pate. Welcome. Um, Let me be a better host. No, no, it's okay. You want a chair like to sit up on? You'll be okay. You want like a cushion or anything? All right. I do have some people coming. Um, they'll be medita. Yeah, yes, you can sit there. Yeah, let me get you something to be comfortable in. These are no, you can stay there. These are Zafu cushions. There'll be more people coming by. Uh, this might be good for you. Here. So if you have not used it before, um, basically you can cushion it up any way you want. If you want to sit higher or lower, it's supposed to prop up your spine so it's higher than your knees. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it really doesn't matter how you sit in it, but yeah, it's whatever's going to be comfortable for you because it molds to your shape. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes it's just the shape of it. Some people like that because they might put that more towards the front because they'll kind of support like yeah. They'll support your thighs when you're sitting like cross-legged, but since you probably won't be, I don't know if you're gonna sit cross-legged. Some people will actually cradle in between their legs like this, and if you sit in like that, depends on somebody's flexibility. So you can try out whichever way is gonna make you sit, comfortably. Does it feel comfortable for you? Okay. Yeah, there'll be some people coming in. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Uh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure. The first time, I wanted to make sure, I had a gentleman waiting to make sure that you're okay, and yeah, no, it's okay. They'll be coming. I I didn't know if how much accessibility you needed. wanted to call you back because we don't have like automated doors, so I didn't know. Yeah. Okay. Mhm. Yeah. I'm glad you were able to make it today. All right. Um, so uh I'm doing live stream. Do you not want to be on camera at all? If you don't, I'll change the camera so that way you're not on it. Are you sure? Okay. Because I can turn them off. Yeah. Are they hurting you, bothering you? Yeah. Sometimes we meditate with them on, but we can turn it off. Yeah. We have lights all over the place, so we can turn them off a bit. Which ones? Oh, these ones up here? These ones weren't a problem up here? Oh, the blinking ones. All right. Let's see here. Oh no, no, it's not a problem. It's fine. The control. There we go. There have been people, asking about that too because it does kind of interfere with their eyes with the LEDs. Okay. All right. Is that okay? This is the main hall. Yes. Um, yeah. So I'm actually going to be doing a Dhamma lesson on live stream. You can listen if you want to. Okay. I do apologize. Typically, um, you didn't know what you were getting yourselves into. So I'm going to be doing a Dhamma lesson and then going into into the guided meditation. Okay. So um, if you're uncomfortable, feel free to move along, and then I'll start guiding on how we do meditation in mindfulness meditation in Buddhism. Okay. Um, if you want to come a little closer so you can hear me, yeah. If you're having trouble hearing, yeah, you might want to come in a little bit. Hearing that. Um, if you need any assistance, Matt can help you. Um, if you, yeah. So we're running close to the um, time of uh, meditation. So um, I might have to save the Dhamma lesson for later. So this is getting closer to the time for meditation. So um, I'll just move that over. That's okay. We can always adjust, adapt. Okay. Um, so we're still a little early. Have you, I'm gonna just try, I just need to gauge you a little bit here. Have you done meditation before? You have done a little bit of it. Okay. Um, so with Buddhist meditation, in Buddhism, it's primarily on mindfulness, on being mindful of your body and then mindful of your mind, where it's going. And it's not like one of the biggest mistakes that people do is that they get a little upset that their mind moves so much. it will start thinking almost immediately the moment you start trying to start calming down the mind, you say. Until you've done it regularly, then you've rewired your mind to be okay with the fact that it goes and you can just watch it and then it won't move so much. It won't be grasping at stories. Like I call it stories. It makes up stories. Um, and what we do for mindfulness of the body first is to be aware of something that's regular, kind of like an interval, and just something that you can track and have a little bit of control over. Because you can't control your ears, it will hear whatever it hears. You can't control your eyes, you can't control your nose so much. It's very difficult. But when you close off some of the senses and you focus primarily on, like, let's say you're breathing. That's one of the biggest things that we concentrate on is breathing. um, we can concentrate and focus on the fact that comes how in the body do you notice it when you breathe, and we typically focus on one area. um, and we'll spend a few minutes doing this, and I like to tell people that the primary pose is not this is our primary pose, wherever you want to sit like this is most comfortable. And then I call a secondary pose is when you're actually shift your body. And if you're sitting low like you are, like we are, low to the ground, we have a secondary pose. And you were sitting in the secondary pose, which is when you just shift your body. And if you're going to shift your body, just be mindful of it. Let's say you're sitting, whatever way you're sitting, and it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to adjust some pain. So I'm going to adjust my legs a little bit. I'm feeling it. So I'm aware that my right knee is coming up, it's coming back, it's switching over, and I'm sitting like this. And it kind of gives a little bit of some relief on the hips. For me, I don't know how it will be for you, but it's something that you want to do. You may want to be aware of, like, is there a secondary pose that I have? Um, if you need to stretch out your legs, that's why I asked if you wanted to sit on a chair. It could be sitting up a little higher. Does that hurt you? Are you okay with that? Okay. So that could be your secondary pose just for a little bit, and then you can go back to it after. Sometimes you can actually sit through the whole thing in your secondary pose, and then you go back to your primary pose. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Some people try to get the full lotus because the full lotus locks your legs. I can't do it. I just go by the statues. So all statues have them sitting in the half lotus. So the half lotus is where your left leg is low, and then the right leg, it just goes over it. But because you're sitting in a seated, because you're sitting on a seat, it that actually might hurt you. So it is actually the way you are. It's actually fine. I call it the easy pose. The easy pose is where you're sitting like this here, and your left leg is as close to the center line as possible, and your right leg is just like you had it, just like that. That's the easy pose. Um, it shouldn't put too much pressure on your ankles. It should kind of alleviate it. Um, and depends on your hips, your hip flexibility. When I first started doing meditation, I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't go more than 2 minutes. Yeah, I was like in extreme pain. So, but the more you keep doing it, so whatever's going to be most comfortable for you. You want to make it so it's comfortable and you're not going to move so much. Because you want to pay attention to just one aspect of your body, not like all the other aspects just yet. But once we start, like, there's another portion of it where we walk, but you know, the because of your mobility, because of your mobility, like if if you want Matt to help you, he can help you moving. For your case here, you'd probably be just being mobile back and forth on like a small section of the rug. That's all you would do. If not, then you can just do whatever is enough for you, and then you just go back to, because you don't want to be so in pain. You just want to be relaxed. So if we want, we can have a chair nearby, so that way you can rest right after if it's too much for you. Is that okay? All right. Okay. Um, all right. So sitting in your most comfortable position possible. that you feel comfortable. Your back should be straight as possible, and your head is relaxed, chin slightly down. It's like your head's just resting on your neck. Your hands, if you put it on your hips, it will stretch your hips. So if you don't have the flexibility, it may hurt you. So a good way is to put it into your center line, having your left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top, and your thumbs are touching each other slightly. So you can have it resting on each other. And you want to pull into your belly button. This helps straighten your back. And you can actually notice that once you start getting tired or your mind gets dull, it does happen where your hands will slip. Sometimes your thumbs separate, sometimes it scrunches, and sometimes your hands itself will actually drag down lower below the navel. So you may notice that. So this is to keep you aware of what you're doing. Again, the first thing we want to do is be aware of our body. So we're rewiring our mind to be aware of how our body acts based on our mind. We haven't looked at it yet. So let's try to calm the mind by taking in some deep breaths through your nose only. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. One more deep breath in, one breath out. Very good. Now you're going to bring it back to your normal breath, normal breathing. And we want to keep track of our breathing when we're breathing in and out. And let's focus on one area where we can notice sensation of touch. If your eyes are distracted, it's good to close your eyes. And we're breathing in your normal rate through your nose. And let's have a little mantra now. So we're focusing on the tip of your nose at your nostrils. And the mantra for you will be the numbers. When you breathe in fully, it's 1. When you breathe out, it's 1. When you breathe in again, it's 2. Breathe out, it's 2. And you're going to keep going up until you hit 5. And then you're going to descend. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ascending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may notice that you've already lost track of the numbers, and that's fine. Don't get upset about it. Just make a determination to go back, and you're going to restart. So the fact that you are aware of losing track of the numbers is a good sign. And if you're able to stay with the numbers, that's a better sign, but still a good sign. If you're thinking already, so just note thinking. If you hear a sound, hearing. If you feel an itch somewhere else, feeling, or tactile touch. And let it go and bring it back to your original mantra, which will be the numbers again. Our minds will always start searching for something to keep us occupied. So we start making up stories, thinking of things from the past, or even thinking of stories in the future. It'll make us lose track of what we're supposed to be focusing on. It may seem daunting at first, and it may not seem fun, but meditation is not supposed to be fun. But once you get used to doing it, it becomes normal. And we're getting refamiliarized with the basics. Just the way we breathe in. How long does it take to reach that number? Was it a long breath in, long breath out? Maybe a long breath in, short breath out, vice versa. We have control of it, of our breath. Not complete control, but we have some control. So that's why it's something we want to go back to as our basic. So as we're counting, do we count before the full breath in or the full breath out? We're dragging it out as long as the breath. You can start to get to know how you are thinking just by the way you breathe in relation to the number. Sometimes the number is very long. It's a long one, one, two. You're breathing in, two. It may calm you down. You may notice that if you're too calm, you lose track. So it's something you want to be aware of. This is again part of mindfulness. Being mindful of how you think, how your body in turn reacts and moves based on how you think. If you notice that it is causing you to become drowsy, you can adjust the way you count. Again, you can count either before or after. After the full breath, make sure that count is there. If you count before, you may notice you lose track. Or you may lose track at the end of the count. may have some anticipations about the number itself. You're anticipating because you may lose track. Is something that you can be aware of. How does your mind think? Sometimes we have this latent tendency. We want to be on time. We want to not lose an appointment. So we have to keep reminding ourselves over and over so we don't lose track. So you may notice that you have a lot of stories in between a count. How many times repeat the number over and over in that one breath? Something that you can be aware of. And we keep with our mantra. As we keep with our mantra, we have a satisfaction. We're content with it. We're content with the fact that we lose track. We're content with the fact that we stay with it. This gives us some happiness and joy. Allows us to continue meditating, even through duration of time. We have some thoughts that arise. I have something to do in an hour or two. Let that thought go. The more we stick with our meditation object, the more you can tell yourself, I can go a little longer. So the story of the future, this thing that we may feel like is important, we can let that go. And say, I want to see if I can go another minute. That's maybe a total of 3 breaths in and out. Maybe a total of 5 breaths in and out. And you keep challenging yourself to see how much longer you can stick with it, not like lose track. This becomes a little bit of a game and gives you some happiness in completing it. Again, we may have stories about wondering how long is this sit going to be, or how long can I sit in this position before the ache overcomes me. But the longer we stay with the object, the less the mind starts thinking about that. This is the calm we're looking for. Just being in one place, one object at the nose. Maybe you can see how the numbers go in and out of your nose. You might have a mental object, mental picture of the number as you count. We're going to be coming out of our meditation soon, so we want to go slowly out. We don't want to rush out. We've just attained some calmness in our breath, in our minds. So we're going to be taking deep breaths in and out. With each out breath that's deep, we're going to be slowly coming to, letting a little bit of light into your eyes. This next one, we're going to wiggle our toes a little bit, maybe shift your hips a little, get to know your body. The next one, again, letting more lights into your eyes and getting your feelings back. Slowly moving your hands to adjust your feelings of your body. In this last out breath, you should be able to open your eyes, be aware of where you are. How was that? You stuck with us. Oh, congratulations. You did a really good job to sit through, especially for, not doing a lot of meditation. It's actually really impressive. So, very good. We're going to slowly come back and get up. So don't rush. Slowly get some, take your time, get the blood flowing back into your legs and into your, yeah, into your hands and whatever it may be. Yeah, slowly. So here we practice some walking meditation too. Um, and it is possible, even so, let's say your mobility gets compromised a little bit, and you have to be on a chair. Um, if you're on a wheelchair, you can actually still use it too. You can be mindful of how you're moving because it's a motion-based meditation, so you can still do it while sitting. So if you're how you're moving your body to propel, and then how you're moving to turn, and you can actually adjust and observe that too. You can even adjust and feel the sensations of the ground underneath you that you're feeling through your body from the lower parts up. So that's something you can be mindful of for the movement meditation. So if you don't ever do it at home, if you can't do it, well, can't if you need to, if your walking is a little bit more compromised, then you can do that. That's something I would suggest you to do. But for the walking part, Um, um, can you bring a chair nearby just in case if you need let's say an emergency rest right away so that way you can catch yourself. I want to make sure that you're comfortable. So take your time getting up. Um, so take your time. Okay. So we're Matt, I'm gonna have you nearby to help because I can't okay. Right. All right. Okay. I just want to make sure that you'll be okay. All right. Um, we're gonna I'm gonna show you. So and then you're gonna just use the I would if you feel like using the whole length of the of this room, you can. Do you, would it be okay if it's like this, just for like an emergency sit down, like if you can catch yourself or doesn't matter? Okay. All right. So just watch me from there first, okay? Um, So if you decide, if you feel like if you want to, if you want to make it all the way to the end of the room here, or you just want to use like the halfway of just one rug, you can do that too. Um, so for for us, it's not limited to you don't have to do the whole length of the room. Okay, so all you just have to know is how you're doing it. Okay, so for walking meditation, what you- your eyes have to be open. You don't want to close it. So you're gonna look, see where you're going first. Where's your end point? So for me, it's at the end of the second rug. And now 3 to 4 feet in front of me. Not all the way down to my toes, but just about 3 to 4 feet in front of me. Okay. So now I know where I am. Typically, your hands are going to be close by. So you have one hand holding. The other one, if you want, you can have it next to your body as close as you can, just to stay, tight. Um, so when we're walking, we're going to start. I always start with my right foot. Okay. So when we're walking with the right foot, it doesn't matter how you moving it, but just watching first. I'm lifting it up. So when I lift up here and then I'm placing down, my heel comes down to the toes. So I call it out what's happening. So what my right foot is coming up, I call it right foot stepping. Now my foot's already coming up. Now it's coming up here. Now it's left foot stepping. Right foot stepping. Left foot stepping. So that's all I'm doing. It's just like when we were meditating with breath. So we're not concentrating on breathing anymore. We're concentrating on just walking. Like what is moving? How is it moving? The more we get used to this here, what's going to happen is um, you're going to actually know exactly what happens in between, how your foot moves, like how's it placed. And you get to see that later on. Okay, when you get to your end point, so let's say I get to the end of the room, I'm gonna stop here, and it doesn't matter how you turn. For me, I go 90 degrees, but you can take your time. You can actually do, 60, or 30, 30, 30, and then head back. So basically, you're just turning around. However you feel comfortable turning around this way. So when I'm turning, I say right foot turning, left foot turning, right foot turning, left foot turning. Doesn't matter how many times you do it. And then I do it again. I look at where I'm going, and then I start moving from there. Now, when you get to the end point, you want to ask yourself before you start turning, was I mindful? And that question is a yes or a no. So it's just like when you're breathing, where you probably ask yourself, was I mindful? Was I not mindful? And based on that question, that's fine. Doesn't matter what the answer is. You just keep going. That's it. Okay. So, uh, one second. There's somebody. Yeah. Đây, cầm than vợ. Ừ. Ừ. กรรมฐานเหมือนกันปะเอายังสมาธิ Okay, so let's all start together. All right. So we're gonna focus on walking first, and I'm gonna give us a meditation of loving kindness. Okay, so we're gonna start with our walking first. All right. So right foot stepping, left foot stepping, and you don't have to go at person's pace next to you. You want to go at your own pace, and just be aware of what foot is stepping first and how it's stepping. Some people move faster, some people move slower, which is fine. The slower you move, the more you get to see how your body moves in relation to the world around you. And you get to the end point, you ask yourself, was I mindful? No, I wasn't. Very good. I was aware of that. And then you start turning. When you turn, remember, it's right foot turn, left foot turn, right foot turn, left foot turn, until you reach and face the same way you started. Determine where you are going and just keep walking. This is not a race. You want to be aware of how you walk. You want to keep track of this mindfulness because we just did for the breath. So we stay mindful how we walk in motion. Was I mindful? No, I wasn't. And we just turn again. We're going to be working on loving kindness very shortly. And so with loving kindness, we express goodwill to all beings, including yourself. So with your steps, align it with the right foot. May all, and the left foot be happy. May all be well. May all not suffer. Again, the mantra is going to be, may all be happy. May all be well. May all not suffer. May all be happy. May all be well. May all not suffer. So while you're doing this, you're going to be bringing into your mind somebody that you care for, somebody that you have a good relationship with. It could be a relative, a significant other, a best friend. And you give them the same wish, this goodwill for them to be happy, to be well, and to not suffer. And what is this happiness? Happiness is when they achieve something, they got something, and you're happy with them. You enjoy their smile, you enjoy their laughter. So you give them a high five or give a big hug and congratulate them. So we're using mudita along with metta. And really taking that moment. Maybe they got a new car or a new home, a new job, a new relationship. Whatever it is they're smiling and you want to smile with them. This wellness is when they are not in any danger. There's no animosity. They don't have enemies. And their illness, if they have any illnesses, you'd like to see them not have any. They can see another day, basically. This is wellness. And may they be not suffering. What causes suffering is that they attach to certain ideas and ideals, certain concepts that keep them in loop of suffering. They might keep doing bad karma. It's time to let them go from your mind. And we're going to now focus on another being. This one is neutral. Maybe it's an animal, and maybe it's an insect, or just a person that you just randomly saw. You don't have a real affection for them, but this being you want to give some goodwill, just like you did for the one you loved. Now we're practicing boundless metta, boundless loving kindness for all beings, whatever it is. So for me, I got to see a raccoon. Unfortunately, it died. So I get to see its eyes, its nose, the telltale raccoon fur, the little black hands and feet. So this happiness would be that it got what it needed, whether it be food or shelter. And the wellness, unfortunately, it passed. So for the next raccoon of its kin, may they be safe. May they not have to run into cars. May they not be misunderstood. May they not have a disease of rabies. So these are the thoughts that we can give them. And they're suffering. They suffer from fear. They suffer from hunger, holding on to reproduction. We're going to let go of this neutral object, and we're going to go into a challenging object. This could be a person, place, or another thing that may have caused us some harm, or may have seen them do some harm to others. This brings usually a sense of animosity from you towards them. In this practice here, we're practicing karuna or compassion. We have to get to understand them a little. Yes, they may have hurt you or others, this being. So how can you wish them or have goodwill for them to be happy, to be well and not suffer? They've caused harm to others, but most likely they were not happy. That's why they caused harm to others. It was true happiness. True happiness is being morally ethical, or even having the items that they need so they don't steal. So we wish them the opposite. Not so that things get stolen from them if they stole from us, but may they have prosperity. This could cause them happiness, so you can enjoy this with them. Maybe this being physically attacked, may they experience kindness. Again, we're letting them know what it takes to be happy, real happiness. And for wellness, so they see another day, it's so that they can learn from their lessons. They can learn whatever being this was. And may they not suffer. Every action that they did that was perceived as wrong or harmful towards others, may they not continue doing that. So they're just going to keep making bad karma for themselves. We've all done bad things. So let's work on compassion and forgiveness. We can let this person, being, place, thing go. And now we're going to be bringing into our mind ourselves, whichever version of self that you can see in your mind, whether it's 5 minutes ago, 5 days ago, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 5 decades ago, 5 centuries ago, whatever version of us, 5 lifetimes ago, whatever this version is, bring it into mind. And may I be happy, may I be well, may I not suffer. And where your happiness is getting something, whatever it makes to make you happy. And enjoy the moments when you get it. May I be well. This would be so you can see another day, take another breath, be mindful of the next step. May I not suffer. May I not hold on to these ideas and concepts that are always fleeting. So even if you were happy with something, you grasp and hold on to it, it'll cause you suffering. So this gives you some wisdom, gives you some forgiveness, You can let go of things that you hold as regret. You can let that go. We're about to end our meditation shortly. So when we get to the side facing the double door entrance here at the temple, when we get there, we're going to stand. You can concentrate on your breath, or you can still concentrate on your metta, which you should. So when you're breathing in, may you all be happy, may you all be well, may you all not suffer. And we're going to be coming out shortly. So here we go. Each out breath, you want to be more aware of your body. Next out breath, be aware of your space. And this last out breath, be aware of your body and space and time. Very good. We're going to go towards the center. This is called the Pūjā, or respecting the triple gem. You don't have to do this, but I invite you to do if you want to. What we do is we bow down to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, or the practitioners, the monastic practitioners, and also including the lay people. So what we do is we put our facing the Buddha, so you can see our hands will be here, and then what we'll do is we'll bow down, putting our head to the floor. But again, you don't have to. If you want to just sit on that, you can still do that. And if people, they can still, pay respects that way. So what we do, like I said, is here, and then we go down, with the hands like this, and coming back up like that. It's not like that, but some people do that. But we put our hands and put our head right at the floor. The reason for putting the head at the floor is because it's showing respect that, we didn't know, and so we're being humble. So that's what we do. Again, you don't have to, but you're invited to if you like. I will say the words in the Buddha's language, and I'll also say it in English so you understand why we're doing it. Again, you're invited to if you'd like to. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivatemi. To the blessed one, the worthy one, rightly self-awakened one, I render homage to the Buddha. Suakato Bhagavata Tamo Sammang Namasami. To the blessed one's teachings, which he expounded so well, I bow my head to the Dhamma. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. To the blessed one's disciples who have practiced so well, I bow my head to the Sangha. And let us rejoice in doing something that's very rare. It's very auspicious that we did it together in consummation. So we say sadhu together. It's akin to saying amen. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Very good. So Satu means wellness. And um, so how was meditation? No, no, it's yeah, it was very difficult what you did. You stuck with us. So yes, that's okay. Yeah. No problem. Not a problem. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Mhm. Yeah. So this, what you did for the walking can actually be done in the sitting. So if you want to just focus, like you can actually do reverse. So again, these are what we do is we mix things up here in this practice here. We give you as many there's 40 different meditation techniques at 4 different positions. So this is a sitting position, is a walking position, standing position, and then laying down position. So it's 40 times 4. So it's 160 techniques basically. So you can do it in mix any way you want to. So it's always good to break it up, because sitting allows you to sit, you can meditate longer. Walking can be, not so much for some people. Whereas some people, they need to walk more and they can't sit enough. So it's whatever you can do. It's again, it's more for comfort. So it's better that you're comfortable instead of trying to try to muscle through. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. 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 And you notice it come down? Yeah. 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 So you get to see, yeah, you get to see that. So you get to do it, adjust to yourself accordingly. So I would suggest that, just adjust your body accordingly based on how you do. If it was causing you to walk, um, have a different stride, then adjust your walk because you can get to notice, you get to know your body again. You get to reacquaint yourself with how do you walk, how do you step. Even for us who are, completely mobile, yeah, we walk funny sometimes. Sometimes I walk with my feet kind of like this, pigeon-toed at times. Sometimes I go like this way. So I'm like, why do I do this here? And it all depends on what I do, and we don't realize that. So this helps us to see, what happens up in the upper body. Oh, I have a slouch. Why do I do that? Why do I walk with like this, like an old person? These are things that we don't know until we actually do it. So it's good that you're paying attention. That's the whole point. This is what mindfulness is that you really pay attention. You get to see what's going on up here because it comes out here, and we don't sometimes notice that. But it's what's going on up here, and it just happens almost on autopilot. But now we're dialing things back, and we get to see it because if we can see what happens here, we get to then understand what's going on here. So that's good. I'm very glad that you came by and joined us. Um, yeah. Um, Thank you for coming by. Do you have questions? This is a good opportunity for questions and answers, and what we can do. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, because you this is your first time doing a metta meditation. The idea really should be with one being at a time. So you have to actually go in with because I didn't clarify exactly what we were doing until we started walking, so that was my fault as a teacher. So I have to say that the best thing to do is start off knowing what you're going to be doing first. So I didn't even tell you that you were doing metta until we started doing it. So once you identify you're going to be doing metta or we say metta, but it's a lot of people look at it as metta. When you do your loving kindness meditation, the best thing is to I say, all right, I have five things, or four things, or five things I want to give this loving kindness to. So, um, who's my loved one? Think in your mind, or that's who's my loved one. Who's the loved one of an opposite sex? Okay, that's my loved one. Who's the neutral one? Who's the difficult one, and uh, then myself, what version of myself, whatever it's going to be. So you're aware of that, and then you can go and stick with it. Um, you can still do it and just give boundless to all beings, but you notice it yourself. What happens is because metta has to be like cultivated inside internally first before we start giving it out. You have to cultivate it first. If your mind is just like when you're meditating, when your mind is scattered and starts thinking all over the place, it tires you out. It becomes very tiring. So you probably noticed that it was getting difficult because you're giving all these different things to all different things. You had all these different thoughts for who can I give it to. It can actually tire you out. Whereas if you stick with one thing, it actually can give you some vitality into and energy into doing what you're concentrated on doing. So yes, I would say the next time we do this here, the next time you do it on your own, is to call out or have an idea what you're going to be focusing on, and then stick with it, and one at a time. But each one has a purpose. Again, the purpose of having the person you love is okay. So you understand. Okay, this is what I should be doing it for all beings. This is how I love somebody else, and many times we don't love ourselves as much as we love others. And that's kind of the truth. But the thing is, we do end up, the truth is, we do love ourselves and at the end more than others. But typically we can see it in the outward aspect is that I love others more than I love, whatever else. And then that's why we come back to ourselves at the end. Some meditation teachers that teach metta will actually go the other way. They'll start with themselves because it's true. We do love ourselves because we want to take care of ourselves. We don't want to die. And not many people want to do have that thought. Prefer to have a thought of self-preservation. That's the love for yourself. So a lot of meditation teachers will start with the self, and then they'll go into the other ones. They'll start with self, the one they love, and that challenge one at the end. I like that fact. I like this one because when I came across this teaching was that, start with the ones you love first, then go into neutral so I know how to give to somebody else now, and then that I don't care for, and then someone that you hate or feel like animosity or thing that you have animosity towards, how can I give this to them? And you build skill that way. And lastly, for that self again, the self-preservation. All right, time to forgive yourself and be happy with that. So when you focus on one thing, it will keep you vital, having energy for it. If your mind is scattered, it may make you a little bit, well, one, you will definitely lose track, and two, you get a little tired because your mind's doing so many mental gymnastics already. It's just like, so um, I'm glad that you asked that question. Yeah, yeah, it can happen. Yeah. hmm Uh, Anybody else have any other questions? Oh, oh, sorry. Yeah. And if you have any other questions that come up, then feel free to ask. Yeah.
You mentioned during the guided metta, that you can do metta for a place. I've never heard that before. Just thought that was interesting. That
Yeah,
might play
yeah.
out.
It's so person, place, or thing. Um, you know, you gotta give it a shot and see what happens because sometimes we hold some resentment towards like a house or a building that brings up memories. You can actually do that.
Yeah, that's why I found it really interesting. I was like, oh, there definitely are places that I both positive, but especially negative. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that
positive,
actually,
negative.
but I've never heard that mentioned before. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like think about it like a city. All right, let's say I was born in Pawtucket the Bucket. Okay, so um, you know, I have a lot of good memories. But some people call it bucket for a reason, right? They call it the bucket because it does it's like no jobs there and all this and that, and all the industrial mill jobs are gone. Hasbro's gone from there. Okay, so some people hold some resentment. Okay, so for me, I have a lot of good memories for it. Some people may not, and they want to actually get away from it because there's so many bad memories from it. But like, oh, may it be successful, may it thrive. I used to live in Woonsocket too. Woonsocket to me, when I went there, was kind of like worse than Pawtucket. But then I've, you know, recently now gone there. It's like, oh, it's thriving. It's actually doing well. For me, I think it's doing well. Some people say it's not doing well. I see it's doing well because I saw what it was at a bad spot, and then I see, oh, it's thriving. Okay, so you can give this loving kindness for all the beings that are there, but just like, hey, this is the city of, or whatever, this place of, this house of, may it thrive. May it also receive the loving care that, and not be dilapidated. So it's something that you can give. It is possible because there are living beings there too. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Um, so I'm gonna actually answer a question that comes up quite frequently. So if you don't mind, you can sit and listen to this question here. So the question is, what do I get when I go piṇḍabāta? So piṇḍabāta is when in the morning the monks go out with their alms bowl and they go collecting for alms food. Okay. So binda means a drop of rice or lump of rice, and bhat is the alms bowl. So piṇḍabāta, put a drop of um, food in here. So typically it's empty. It's empty a lot, but I always say it's full. To me, it's very full when I get back. So I sometimes go like uh, yesterday I did almost 8 miles. I'm pretty sure it was definitely 8 miles. And I had nothing except for the food that my sister provided me in the morning. Um, but I had so many people like honking their horns and saying, waving their hand, and they actually really enjoy seeing me walk in the morning. And there was one gentleman who um, political flag and all this and that. He sees me, but like I don't whether the person has one or the other. It's fulfilling because the one with a let's say an opposition flag or whatever, right? So to the rest of the area, they for them they're like, oh, you make my day. I really am happy to see you. You just make me smile, and it makes their day good. And then see another person who would probably be opposed to that person there, but they also smile. So it's like it's very fulfilling. It's uniting at the same time. So like to me, this thing is full because I made them smile and they made me smile and I just want to keep going. So I was like, oh, okay, how am I able to walk 8 miles? And even though I have nothing in here, and I get the food when I come back, it's like, okay, how does it get me to go through that? And it's like, oh, all right, even though I got nothing, I still get something. There are times where people do put stuff in, and that's fine. But the more important thing is, why do I do it? And I do it not just to show, it's not to show off or anything. It helps you, I think, one expose, but it also unites. It definitely gives a uniting thing, and that is fulfilling. It's a type of food, and it's four types of food, right? There's one that's physical that we can actually see, and then there's three that are completely here. So, for example, how is it that a kid can sit 8 hours in front of a TV computer screen playing a video game And even they say, "Hey, dinner's ready or whatever's ready, I'll be there in a minute." They're there in additional whatever hours, and it's like, okay, how did they do it? They didn't need food to get through. They got through with something. So it's all here. So one, it feels good. So that's the second type of food is Vedana, or feelings of good pleasure. Sometimes pain is lumped in there too. So pleasure, pain, neutral. The third type of food is the mind, just thinking. So you can be lost in your thoughts. So you ever seen anybody just like daydreaming? They can daydream for hours, and or like, oh, I'm hungry, and all of a sudden they start daydreaming and they're full still, because they're daydreaming. And then the consciousness is the other one. So the consciousness is the things that hit their senses. They enjoy the senses being stimulated. So it's that euphoric feeling. So uh, an example would be somebody on, like, let's say MDMA or whatever. It's an upper. So they're was it their the GI tract is stopped because they're enjoying the senses, so in euphoria, so they're not hungry. So that's the third type of food. So there's four types of food. So maybe I'm running on one of those other four. So it's the food because I didn't need the physical food. So a lot of people always say, "Oh, you don't get anything in here." It's like I get plenty. It's always full. So it's not about what's inside here, like physically. It's about what's inside here, the mental part. So that was the question for those that keep asking, why do I go out when Vindabad, and do I get anything when I go alms around? So that answers well. Okay. And I guess that's it for question and answers. So I'm going to give everybody blessings. So may all be happy, may all be well, may all attain the serene bliss in Nibbana. Sadhu. So thank you for joining us. We're going to end the stream. I don't think anybody